Alrighty, welcome back to some Shorty Car Mods, but before we begin, a little bit of shameless self-promo. I know it's not like specifically to do with this channel, but a lot of you came from Captain Sparkles and may have watched the Minecraft music videos at some point, so only 8 years after the fact, we have Creeper Aw Man merchandise available at represent.com/Captain Sparkles, link in the description. And if you don't like to wear clothing, which I'm not going to judge, you probably like to consume liquid, so there's a mug that you can drink out of that also has Creeper Aw Man designs on it. Shout out to my boy Doffy for coming up with the original concept for this artwork. Pretty cool. Anyway, we begin with number 19, parked outside my work. I was dying laughing. I'm glad you kept it together long enough in order to be able to post this before you demonetized. Is that a demonetized on the front of your car, also with wings? It is. It is. Beam me up, Scotty, it says. Alrighty. And you know, just in case you're worried about your bumper getting hit, you can protect your bumper by putting a bumper on your bumper with tires so that they will actually be more bumper car-esque, because there's a little bit of, you know, that elasticity to the tires. They can compress a little bit, bounce off a little bit, and not do damage, but then you can always replace the metal underneath it and it'll never damage your car because you have 2 layers of protection. Virgin 100. I'm not a gynecologist, but I'll have a look. I mean, how is that working out for you? You getting much action as a result of that? You know, like you have a date, it goes really well, the person actually is pretty into you, and then you offer to give them a ride home. Suddenly, the date's not going so well, and you're like, I don't know what happened. It's for some reason, everything is so great up until I offer to be a gentleman and take them back to their place, and then they just refuse to take a ride with me, and I can't possibly imagine why, or why people honk at me all the time and give me dirty looks. It's so strange. I mean, I was just trying to make a funny joke, but it doesn't seem like people are appreciating it. Jesus forgives. You know, if you want to spread the gospel, you are perfectly free to do that, but I happen to think that you're kind of detracting from any message you might be trying to send, because it's just such an overwhelming amount of information that I don't even know what to focus on. I just think for the sake of your marketing campaign here, like if you just kind of narrow it down to a highlight, like this is the message you're trying to send here, and you kind of stick to that, it will actually probably be a little bit more effective, because I'm just being bombarded by words here. Other than Jesus forgives, John 3:16, like that's all I'm getting out of this, but then there's just so much other stuff. So anyway, why? Because downforce, that's why. Do you even have to ask? Can you imagine the amount of downforce that you get? This is some next level. Sure, the McLaren Senna's got a big wing, but can you imagine if they put additional wings coming back off the back of their wing, like these right here? Do you even know how much downforce that adds? The engineers ain't got nothing on the person who put this on the back of their car. Sure, it is made out of Legos. There is a slight chance of things just shattering into at least 50 pieces. But the principle, the calculation, the math, it's there. It's just expensive to design arrows, so, you know, you gotta build with the resources that you have available. Does this count for the sub? It's actually an ingenious solution, because I swear every car that I own, it's like the gas mechanism. It's, oh my god, let me tell you, on supercars, the capless gas system, it's just the worst thing. It really is. Why is it that the thing that is just, it's the most basic thing, you have to put fuel into your vehicle? That is the common thread across all gasoline combustion vehicles. You gotta put fuel in. Why is it so much more impractical to do it on an expensive car? The Porsche, thank you, it just works every time. It's got a cap on it, you undo it, you can leave the thing and it works. The McLaren, You have to sometimes pull the cap back depending upon the pump. I must look like such an idiot at the pump because I've got like two hands contorted. I'm probably looking all vascular because I'm putting a whole bunch of effort into forcing the pump in and holding it there so it doesn't, otherwise it'll just click on through as if it's full when it's not. I'm like, my tank's empty. People probably think I'm trying to top it off. And I'm like, no, my tank's actually empty. I'm trying to start the fill and it won't work. I apparently broke the gas intake because I don't know, I was putting gas into it and they're like, it's a little bit tricky sometimes you can break the thing by putting gas. I'm like, what? How do you do that? Oh my god. Anyway, it is a real pinch point of frustration when it comes to nicer cars. Why is it so difficult to fill them with gas? Like, I actually have anxiety getting into the gas station. Legit looks like a cell phone. I think I've seen this before. It's definitely a kit that goes on top of an existing car. I don't know what car it is, but I'm sure we'll find out if we scroll down into the comments section. It's a Chevy Aveo kit called ETV, and apparently it's $86,000. Imagine getting a Chevy Aveo and being like, you know what? I'm gonna get a body kit. Well, it's more than just a body kit, but I'm gonna get a kit for it that costs more than a Corvette. You don't get this many people taking photos of your Corvette, so I suppose it's all worthwhile at the end, but it's also still a Chevy Aveo underneath all of that, and one that now has zero ground clearance. How did it even get into that parking lot in the first place? It looks like a hovercraft. See, Mad Max car, no issues with the parking blocks here. This one, run straight into it, break your $86,000 body kit. That's no fun. This makes me very uncomfortable. It looks like two cars have done the fusion dance. They got caught as they did the final move, and they're just stuck that way. Because I think, when you do the fusion dance wrong, like, bad things can happen. It's just like it's very difficult to get it right. So they're like that. It's tough. Is this real or is this Photoshop? Because how would you couldn't drive that. There's no way that'd be road legal. I don't know. Axle overheating, remove the diff cover to keep them cool. Hold on. Cue jokes about an open differential. I guess you could say he has an open diff. Saw that one coming right there, dude. Oh, I saw that one coming. That part can't be that important to the car, the part that just connects the two driving wheels together, and it's not a big deal or anything like that. I'm sure that if a few rocks get on in there due to it being uncovered, it couldn't do that much damage to the delicate gearing inside of it. I'm sure we'll be fine. Perfect. Great solution. Found this on Facebook. Said his steering wheel was pulling to the left. Are those wheel weights? Did he put wheel weights on his steering wheel? Huh. Would that work? If the wheel was going one way, yeah? Maybe? You'd have to actually load a pretty decent amount of weight, though, I feel like, and that's 10 grams a section, so that's 60 grams. Steering wheels have, resistance to them. I don't think that's going to do anything, really, other than get in the way of you moving your hands around the wheel and be really uncomfortable. And I'm confused. Maybe you just thought wheel weights meant steering wheel weights. And you're like, why are these so light? Oh, well, placebo effect. Let's see how much downforce can a towel hanger create. Questionable. It's also a really, really long license plate. That's what's catching me here. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 10. Here it's 7. I don't think I've ever seen, at least in the US, anything over 7. Maybe there's 8 somewhere, but 10. Must be a lot of cars in this country, and they're just running out of numbers. Yeah, I don't know why. Not entirely sure why, of all things, you're like, you know what, let me just grab the towel rack from my home and I'll just put it on the back of my car. Maybe they run a business installing, hangers. New neighbor knows where he stands. Small Richard, big dreams. Actually, it looks like a pretty regular car, though. People say that when you drive a fancy car, it's because you're compensating for a small Richard. I don't know, in this case, it just looks like a fairly regular Mitsubishi. So, I don't know. I guess you're just being self-deprecating because that's what's in these days. You got to be self-deprecating. It makes you more relatable and likable, especially if you're on Twitter. Twitter is the platform for self-deprecation. How are you about insurance? Wait, how about you are insurance? How about you are insurance? What? Back off, bumper humper. My brakes are good. Okay, makes much more sense now that the title is a play off of what's going on the back of the truck here, because I was so confused. I mean, you have a pretty massive truck there. Your brakes can really only be so good. They're probably actually pretty average when compared to most other much lighter cars. So, I don't know, you're rocking some carbon ceramics on your pickup truck, dude. I mean, to be fair, if you were driving a Ford Raptor, it would be sharing a decent amount, of engine components with the Ford GT. How about you are insurance, though? How about it? How about that grammar that you permanently put on your truck? I died when my girlfriend spotted this literal grocery list. If you don't get it, they're plays on logos of various car-related things. It's kind of funny, actually. I mean, I wouldn't permanently put all of them on my car, but what would actually be funny is if you were sponsored by one of them. Like if I actually was sponsored by Michelin, having a play on words on their logo, they probably wouldn't like that very much. They'd be like, we'd prefer that you actually advertise our logo if we're going to sponsor you. And I'd be like, but this is funnier. And it's less serious than actually putting a sticker on my car and people are just going to think I'm a wannabe. But hey, maybe these are your most commonly purchased things at the grocery store, and you don't want to forget them. The pepper is the only one that's like, oh, maybe it's the condiment pepper, because I'm thinking these are all pretty standard that you get on a regular basis. Pepper, that maybe you just have a thing for pepper, or it's pepper for your scrambled eggs. That works too. What the fork? What the fork? Oh man, is this a coincidence, or is this? Well, we'll see in the comments. Thank you. I appreciate the language here. Very demonetization unfriendly. It's friendly to monetization. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. That doesn't look right. There's also a dangling thing here that's probably not good. I hope that the left turn they're about to be making is into the shop, because you've got a problem. Is it just me, or does it look like things are all kind of parallelogram down there, and it shouldn't be like that? It should, at the very least, be rectangle, maybe even a slight trapezoid camber in there, but I don't think parallelogram is what we're going for. Plus the wheels kind of not being, I don't think they intended it to be that way, but I guess you never know. They just had a long night, okay? You have enough drinks of, you mix your E85 and your petrol, and all of a sudden you're like, starting to feel a little bit queasy. So that's what happened here. Also, though, hold on. Control F. Jardon or Sparkles or Fork? Let's see, which one should we? I saw What the Fork. You watch Captain Sparkles. So Captain Sparkles sees it. Hold on, how many? Oh, we got Sparkles. See, you're a Captain Sparkles fan, aren't you, Squidward? Captain Sparkles' face when he reads the title. Everyone up. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. My local town had a Kyle move in. That's a thing. I mean, I guess, if you want to, get Ken Block to sponsor you, you gotta make your car look like a Monster Energy can. So that's the trick these days, and add a big wing on your bug. Yeah, it's striking. Years ago, as a police officer, I was given this bait car to drive to random parts of town, leave the keys on the dashboard, and walk away. Not one person took the bait. All right. Honda Hardcore Racing? It seems like it says hardcore there. I don't know what Honda Hardcore Racing. It says it on the front too. All right, dude. So you mean no one actually decided to steal this car that is extremely distinct and easy to spot? Hey, somebody stole my orange with black pinstripes and silver top dual color Honda with scrapes all over the front bumper. I wonder if you're able to spot one of those police officers. It's almost like the person who's going to steal a car is thinking, how can I not get caught? Ideally. Here I am not trying to give tips to people wanting to commit illegal activities, but I'm just trying to, I think there's a reason. And yeah, I hope you catch people though. I do, because I don't like that people steal others' belongings. Let's get this bread. It's the perfect car for it. If you had asked me of all vehicles, what would be good to get if you wanted to market your bread at butter, toaster, company, whatever it is, what is the boxiest car you can possibly get? The Scion Extreme Box. Yeah, bravo. And then, of course, why wouldn't you want to drive around towing a gigantic plate of butter in order to keep up the marketing and be on brand? Like, there's no reason not to. I would be lying if I said I didn't want it. So the question here is it actually powered by a boat motor? Because it looks like it is, actually. That's impressive. It's probably less powerful than the original engine, and also a lot harder to see out of, but at the same time, this does get more attention. And it looks like they've managed to remove a lot of components from the front, so maybe they saved a lot on weight. They just added it back by extending the axle back there and stuff. And it looks like, if you do crash, it's probably the end of you, but it'll be quick, at least. Okay, well, that's it for the last month of Shorty Car Mods. I hope you've enjoyed. And thank you again for What the Fork. Much appreciated. Make sure to like if you liked. Check out the playlist in the description if you want to catch more of these. Subscribe if you're not already. And represent.com/Captain Sparkles for Creeper. Amen. I'll see you next time.